Welcome to the Con Show. Here's where we speak up on it. We got a Tuesday's twist. We're gonna talk a little NBA, a little NFL, live conversation. Mr. Shannon Sharp, speak of some things that's going on with him. See what's happening with this little lawsuit he got going on. Anyway, we'll be back after this short intermission.
In order to have anything in this world, you must speak up on it. In order to have anything in this world, you must speak up on it. Oh, that you're punching in Versace, she don't want it. She like it hot just like a coffee in the morning. And if you want it, then you gotta speak up on it. Said if you want it, then you better speak up on it. 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 Said if you
Oh man, Tuesday's twist. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing today?
What's up,
What's
my
going
brother?
on? What's going on?
All is well. All is well.
Yes, sirree. Man, look here. We're gonna try to get this little live YouTube shit cracking today. I'm been trying all goddamn week. It ain't worked yet. We gonna work with it. Y'all gotta be patient with us because the the little shit ain't gonna be
We gonna
solid
get
as
it.
a rock as they say.
You gotta
Shit.
go get a nerd. You gotta go find a nerd.
Shit. I'm gonna get this shit. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And the thing I did a little test run with it and it worked. So I said, okay. So let me see. Let me see if I can get this shit. If I think I got this shit now. Let's see. Y'all go ahead and talk about it for a second. Let me see if I can get this connected for a second.
So yeah, man, I read this article a little while ago regarding the quarterback Ewers from Texas. It told a story about how he had to make a decision. His decision was basically to go back in the portal or to go to the draft and go pro. And because obviously they done Texas has already given the ship to Arch Manning, so he had to go one way or the other.
Okay.
So he chose to go pro, of course. Did all his workouts and did all that stuff, and ends up getting drafted in the seventh round. And anybody who saw the draft that day and saw him get drafted saw that he was not a happy camper. All right. So this article digs a little deeper into why he wasn't so happy. Uh, his choice to go to the transfer portal or go pro, also the choice to go to the portal was with a $8 million NIL endorsement. So
Mm.
uh, he basically passed up $8 million to go to the draft, and then got picked in the seventh round, which is an estimated loss. They because the contract that he's going to get will be less than $1 million a year or whatever it is. So they're estimating his next year's loss
less
at
than $1 million a year or
$1 million.
whatever it is.
Okay.
So
I want to
they're
know
estimating
who
his
in the
next year's
hell.
loss less than $1 million a year or
Hold
whatever
on.
it
Sorry.
is.
Sorry,
Okay.
fellas.
So
Hold on.
I
they
want to know.
Go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, what made him think that he get more than $8 million? None of these kids are going to get $8 million next year. So why wouldn't you take the $8 million and go back to school? The first round contract isn't even for $8 million a year.
Hey man, these kids, people, people don't know what they're doing, and you hate to kind of say it, but sometimes you have to leave things to the professionals, and even sometimes they get it wrong. So, but mama and daddy can't negotiate and think they know what they're doing. You got to leave it to the pros. That's why they get paid for doing what they do. You
Yeah,
know,
I'm interested to see if he actually had an agent, and if he did, why, what was he thinking about? Because it just doesn't make dollars and cents to me. If somebody's offering me more money than I'm going to make that next year, I'm going to take that money and then put myself in the draft next year. At least, at least now I'm $8 million more dollars strong than I was.
Unless they looked at it from that standpoint of that ceiling of already being at the top of the ceiling and staying in college and playing one more year, where you have scouts who say, "Well, why did you stay another year?"
Because
Maybe
they
he's
gave me $8 million. The
right.
answer is simple. Because they gave me $8 million. That's why. And nothing's guaranteed. In the pros.
Bro, how much is his contract that he's gonna get in the NFL? He signed in what, the 7th round? He's the last pick to the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, I mean,
That makes
What's that bonus, like 100,000? What the hell is that? What is that signing
he
bonus?
go,
100,000?
he'll probably get anywhere from five to 700,000. You know what I mean? But it's just it doesn't make dollars and cents. The decision he made doesn't make dollars and cents. If somebody and if the pros interviewing him next year saying, well, why didn't you leave, and why did you stay in college one more year? Well, sir, it was a business decision. I could either make, even if I went in the first round, I would have only made $3 to $4 million for that first year, as opposed to going back to school and making 8. I made a family business decision, and if they can't understand that, they fooling themselves.
All right. Yeah. Ain't nowhere in here in today's world where it's strictly pay for play anyway. Uh, I don't know who his agent was, but that's just bad advice all the way around. Uh, you already knew where they were looking at you in the draft. You was like near the bottom, And the cold thing about it is, if he brought his ass out the year before, he'd been in the top probably top 10 pick, because he was on the cover of the goddamn NCAA game.
Right.
With Kappa,
They were
what I'm saying?
loving. They were loving it, and
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
it's just one of those, one of those. What was my boy back in the day, Taylor Mays?
Oh man,
Played at SC, and I mean, my God, he lost so much money. Matt Leinart, right?
yep.
Matt Leinart did
Matt
the same
Leinart
thing,
went
stayed in.
from first pick to 10th pick. That's a lot of money. But this kid, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know who was telling him, when he thought he was going, but it wasn't going. They weren't talking about you at all when they were talking about first round quarterbacks. So,
It was so bad I forgot all about him. Didn't even know he was in the draft
I didn't either, dog.
until
I didn't know he
about
was in the draft. I
because
didn't either.
he
the
shouldn't
fourth
have been.
round.
Because he shouldn't have been. He should have been in the portal getting that $8 million from whoever offered it to him. That's why we
When,
didn't
when,
get
they, when they kept saying best available quarterback and his name was last, I was like, oh, he's out. I didn't know he was out.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
shoulda-
We always tell him.
Here's what they think about you.
Exactly. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Your ass going in the 7th round. I'd have been upset too. And did he have a bunch of people at his draft party? Was a
I
bunch
mean, it was enough. It was enough. It was his family and stuff, but I just, like I said, I just don't get it. I don't get where that came in, that you gonna sit $8 million down to go pro.
he clearly needed another year anyway, because he did not have a good year
He didn't
this
have
year
it.
anyway. He didn't have a good year. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
he was injured. It was also talking about, he was injured each of the 3 years he was at Texas, not for a long period of time, but he missed games every year. Dude, take the $8 million.
Man, why not, bro? And
They're not
it's still
saying
college.
they're not saying who offered it to him or where, but they said he left $8 million on the table.
I don't give any million would have been more than what he getting today.
My
And
man,
you're not even guaranteed a spot. When you get drafted after the 3rd round, you essentially playing just to be on the roster, or
yeah,
the practice, or you running the scout team. Yeah, you on the scout team, running for the ones that's gonna be playing on Sunday
you
or
got to
Thursday,
ball out.
Monday.
You got to ball out.
They put NG next to his name.
Okay, so
John
speaking
Jr.
of that, do y'all really think let's switch it. Y'all think Shedeur Sanders really gonna get a shot to play? Being he was a 5th round. Now I know what he was projected, but being a 5th round choice, because it didn't look like Cleveland wanted to draft him. It looked like the higher ups maybe one of the owners say, "Hey, man, you got to take this kid," because he didn't look. They didn't look too happy when they selected him. So
I honestly think when they go to camp, they are going to. They're not going to have a choice. The kid is better than the kid they drafted.
he better than everybody that's on their goddamn roster. To be honest with you,
That's
and we
the
know Deshaun Watson ain't playing at all. Period. Anyway,
so their quarterbacks are Flacco. I can't remember who the second team guy is.
Kenny Pickett.
Any
Pickett.
Pickens from Pittsburgh.
Listen, there's no way. To me, in my opinion, there's no way that he doesn't come in and be in the top 3 quarterbacks. There's no way.
They ain't getting rid of Dylan Gabriel because they drafted him 3rd, so he's gonna be
Hey,
there.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't. If he don't show Shador up, this a business. You got to go.
What I'm saying is Shador
Yeah, I
gonna
think
outplay. Shador better than him. He gonna outplay him though.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
So
saying he gonna
so
outplay him.
if they go out there and give him if they give him a fair shake, then he'll make the squad. If they don't, then I mean, and you'll see it. You'll see it real early in the preseason games and whatnot.
Yeah. It was interesting. I sent it to you guys. I don't know if you guys said. Yeah, I'm sure y'all didn't get a chance to look at it. But Chris Carter spoke on the reason why he thought Shador failed so bad, and he made a whole lot of sense. That I think Deion dropped the ball, and I think he messed up because he didn't have an agent. He should have had an agent. That's one reason how Shiloh got his, uh, got to sign with the Bucks because he left Pops. He was like, "Pops, I got to get an agent." I thought he was
yeah,
playing.
I
He
heard
wasn't,
about
he
that.
wasn't playing. He was serious. He went contacted the agent right in there. What's the
Yeah, because they're the ones that go out and find
He got the big one too. He
what's
got
the name? Rosen something?
Rosenthal,
Yeah,
Rosenberg, or
yeah.
Lee, yeah. He went and
And
got
he might have got a drafted if he had him in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? He might have even got drafted because he just be working with you.
I didn't know. Honestly, I didn't know that Dion was.
Rosenhaus.
I didn't know he was representing them, so to speak.
Yeah. I mean, why?
Yeah, he kind of
Go ahead.
he kind of did a little family mismanagement himself, and then when he came out and talking about his son not going to be playing for certain teams, and that daddy got to humble himself, since everybody want people to be humble these days. Daddy needed to humble himself too. Again, the only person I ever remember getting away with that was the Manning. So
Yeah,
And John Elway.
John Elway as well. But
John and John, yeah,
know,
Elway started it. So
yeah, I didn't know. Like I said, I didn't know that he was kind of representing. I just thought he was guiding them, or whatever. But I didn't know he was like their main representation.
Yeah, because Dion had an agent when he came out, and
Right. So why wouldn't you? Why would you let your kids get an agent?
his agent passed a couple years ago, and he hasn't had an agent since. But I just think that he thought he could do it himself. Like he didn't have to, I guess sort of, share the wealth at all with an agent. But dude, when you getting that kind of bread, you essentially lost out on like $39 million. I wouldn't give a shit what they get, 5%, 3%, whatever it is. Shit, it
Yeah.
would have been well worth it
Yeah.
because they could have got ahead of all this bullshit that was being spewed about his son, and known that it was actually legit, and these owners was taking your son off the board. Period.
Yeah.
They just like really like I don't want to deal with him.
I think Dion. Well, that part of it now that this, like you said, it kind of makes sense. They didn't want to. These owners and GM, they didn't want to deal with Dion.
Right, exactly.
right,
Talking about contract and negotiations and all that, they didn't want to deal with him. And with like you said, it could have got ahead of all of this stuff. And when you're leading, he thought I think I ain't speaking for him, but I think Dion thought that, the play speaks for itself type of thing. But nowadays it doesn't. It's politics in this shit. When he was coming out, I mean, let's face it. You can't tell me Dion got picked third, right? Or third or
Fifth,
fifth.
fifth.
Third or fifth, right? Fifth.
Mhm.
You can't tell me them other four players ahead of him was better than him at the
No,
end of the day. They
they weren't.
weren't.
No.
So you went fifth and you was the best player in the draft. So you gotta know that it's about placement and timing.
Well, they picked quarterbacks, I believe, and it was about what was needed. Just like you said, if there's a quarterback that you need, you get him. You don't wait. You know what I'm saying? And then also Dion was sort of like Travis. He's a unicorn. That's so.
Right.
If this was so, let's just look at it. Say this was Travis that they were talking all this stuff about, and Travis had this kind of rhetoric being spewed about him. It wouldn't have mattered because Travis is a unicorn. When you got exceptional talent, they're willing to pull up with more bullshit that you
Right.
have to offer. You know what I'm saying?
They'll-
Shador is not a unicorn. He's a very
Right.
He's a
good,
quarterback. He's a
yeah,
quarterback.
yeah. He's a good quarterback. He's a very good quarterback, right? But he's not exceptionally talented when it comes to running or you know what I'm saying. He doesn't have the strongest arm in the business. So they essentially felt like they would take somebody a little less talented and rather than to have to deal with him and his everything that came with him, like the cameras and all that other stuff. Because if you
Right.
draft him in the first round, you're essentially saying that you're accepting everything that comes with him. You know what I'm saying? I bet in Cleveland he won't even get the number 2.
No.
I bet he won't even get his jersey number as a 5th round pick. What you think, D-Bat?
Probably not, man. If somebody wants it, and how petty motherfuckers are. That somebody might just go get it just so he can't have it. You know what I mean?
Is there a 2 on the team? I don't know. I can't
I
think of
thought
one.
was Amari Cooper number 2. I didn't know if he was number 2. I don't even know who the hell Cleveland got other than
I
Joe.
don't know. I don't know.
Judy is 3. I don't know who's 2. I don't think there is a 2. It might not be a 2. Maybe he might be able to get it then.
It
He
might
might-
not. He might be able to pull it off.
Yeah, and Cle also he spoke a little bit about Pittsburgh too, and that Pittsburgh and Aaron Rodgers probably had a deal to whereas don't draft Shador because if you
Right.
draft Shador, I ain't coming because the first sign of trouble, I don't want this. Everybody talking about how this little young motherfucker gonna have to be probably you should be putting him in over me, you know?
Right.
So that's
Right.
essentially why they waited to the fucking 6th round to draft Howard. What's his name?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From Ohio
That's-
State.
And you know what? Again, it goes back to Green Bay. He didn't like Green Bay drafting a quarterback behind him. He don't want to teach anybody. It's obvious he don't want to teach nobody.
Right. So he don't care about your future. He just cares about right now.
He's a selfish ass white boy that's able to get away with what he's getting away with. Because there is no way if a healthy Cam Ward did the same thing Aaron Rodgers were doing, they would have found a scandal and Cam Ward's ass would be doing podcasts. What I'm saying, he would have been able to get away with the same shit that he's doing.
Ain't no question.
Right.
Ain't no question.
And you know what? When you start talking about, because doesn't Kevin Durant's mother kind of helps represent him as well, right?
I don't think so.
I know it's a couple of basketball players who don't have agents, and I know LeBron James didn't have an agent. Daniels from the Redskins, his mother they don't like that. Owners don't like that.
Well, I think Jalen Hurts, his mom represents him.
No, Jalen Hurts has
a black woman, but
A black woman. I thought that's not his mom.
No.
Okay.
But see, Tim, I agree with you to a point. See, in basketball, and Ray Allen started this. Once they got that collective bargaining agreement where your second contract is a max out, it's a certain amount. They don't in basketball, they no longer need agents to negotiate.
Right,
Because
but I think
it is what it is.
I think they wish that they had him though, because it keeps that money on them. It don't give all the money and all the power to to the player. It kind of helps feed the fund of what they are doing at the top. So
Yeah, but like I said, yeah, in basketball they don't need them because they already know. Okay, if I get the max deal, it's this much, or because it's layers to their stuff. So theirs is kind of like they don't. Most of them, some of them do, some of them, but most of them don't. If
right.
they the upper players, and of course these owners don't want to deal with somebody's parent because they look at the parent like y'all don't know this business the way it's supposed to be, the way it's supposed to be done. They don't get the good old boy handshake when it's mama and daddy.
Right.
It's break bread, homie. I need everything y'all want to give my son. I need to see it all. So no, they don't want to see that, but they really just, like you said in this case, they just probably didn't want to deal with Dion.
Well, like that's what I'm saying. I don't know why he didn't have an agent, bro. That would
don't
probably say that would have saved him a whole lot of bread. I'm trying to tell you that. Well, not saved him, but made him a whole lot of bread because
Yeah.
that's a big loss, man. $39 million.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's man.
And you know what? I can't never let no one say, "Oh, he'll make it back." No, he won't.
You
You'll
can
get
never make it back. Once it's gone, it's gone. Ain't no such thing as making it back.
Yeah. People always say, "Oh, he'll make it when he get in the league." No, he won't.
No, he
You
won't.
can never make whatever you don't get. You can never make it back. That's just that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Yeah, that's not how it works. And essentially, but here's the thing, though. He don't have to wait to that 5-year deal with that rookie contract. He can do everything after 2, right?
Yeah.
So after 2 years, he can go in and renegotiate if he get an opportunity, man. I just hope that he get an
Is
opportunity.
he even gonna get on the field these first 2 years?
That's what I'm saying, man. I don't even. You know how they do you, dog. When you get picked, I think Mel Kiper showed a statistic. I think it ain't but a couple people picked after the 5th round that ever even just had a somewhat of a career in the NFL at that position. You know what I'm saying?
And think about it this way as well. We always talk about why the scouting people and media people so hard on like Brock Purdy, right?
Mm.
And I always and we talk about it a little bit, and I always tell my brother, it's the reason they so hard on him is because he was the last pick in the draft and everybody screwed up. They missed. Everyone missed, and this kid is good. So they're going to try to bring him back down to see this is why we weren't looking at him and all of that. Shadour's going to run into the same problem. Nobody's going to want to say we fucked up.
Right. And by that same
down.
And by that same token, they're either they'll keep him on the roster, but if his contract is up for renegotiation in 2 years, we ain't gonna play you because it ain't gonna be no performance shit. So you ain't gonna say, "Oh, I did this, and this. I need $50 million." Ain't gonna be none of that. So you gonna sit either way because if he plays and he shines, they're gonna have to pay him.
Bro, Purdy fell in the greatest situation you could fall in. Because everybody got hurt in front of him.
Everybody got hurt, right? Everybody got hurt.
Who else was you gonna play? You know what I'm saying?
It was next man up.
Next man up. And every next man kept getting hurt. Shit. So I mean, if you waiting for some something like that to happen for Shedeur.
Right, that's lightning strikes. That's lightning striking. You can't. Yeah.
The only thing is he is just not even playing it down. Out of all the 5 quarterbacks they got on there, he is the best talent because Joe Flacco is 38 years old, and I doubt he gonna make it through the season.
Right, he won't.
Yeah, he ain't gonna make it through the season. Kenny Pickett, we already know he started one game where at Pittsburgh, and Deshaun Watson's out for the year, and then Gabriel, he clearly ain't better than Shedeur. So, and he 5'11". So, you'd have to create a Kyler Murray type of offense in for him. He's gonna have to drop back 15 yards just to throw the ball down the field, 10 yards.
So
You
he
know what I'm
could.
saying?
I mean, he really could possibly get in if indeed they plan on keeping him.
I just hope they don't put that because essentially when they drafted him, I looked at it like that's a football graveyard, dog. Chris Cleveland, man, you like, right? And then they got all these quarterbacks on the roster. I was like, this is a football graveyard, man. They just gonna tuck this fool away. They gonna treat this fool like they did Michael Sam's back in the day, you know. And
But
he
you
was
know the thing, yeah, the thing about this, the media ain't gonna let this one go.
and that's the other thing too. When you got a backup, is because they already talked about his jersey ain't even out yet. He's like the third highest selling jersey already.
Right. Right.
Already. You know what I mean? People are already looking for them Shador Sanders jerseys already. And so that might be what you ain't gonna be able to probably, tuck him in the cupboard. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And just
it's gonna be hard for them to squeeze him out. You know.
it's gonna be hard because they're gonna be looking for it, man.
I think
Anyways,
they
man.
should. Wait a minute, real quick. I think they should
Mhm.
let him have 5 minutes alone in the bathroom with that Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator son.
Man, man,
5 minutes in the bathroom.
it's hard.
Hey, dog. Hey, that's another thing too. I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to talk about this too. Your defensive coordinator of all teams, Atlanta Falcons, where he
Right,
built that. You know what I'm saying? Of
right.
all places, right? It had to be a team like Atlanta.
And
Defensive
and
coordinator.
Atlanta wasn't even interested in him.
That's what I'm
Right?
saying.
So it's like, why does this defensive coordinator even have this kid's phone number?
Well, like I said, Dion had got a special phone, and he gave all the teams this number, and they were
Understood.
the only people that have that number were those teams. And
So you
so
had
whoever
to know,
wanted
and
to reach out to him, this was the way to reach out
I
on this
understand, but
special
why would
phone.
okay, and you can see, okay, I gave it to the GMs. Why did the defensive coordinator have that kid's phone number?
right. It looked
Yeah,
egregious
apparently
because,
his tablet was left open, and the sun just happened to
hey,
walk
dog.
by.
Yeah, you
Hey,
get yeah,
it's like too
Oh,
much of a coincidence, though,
I
dog.
right.
I
You got
hear
this dude
I hear
falling constantly in the draft, and now he getting prank phone call. Come on, bro.
I hear you, but you're missing the point. The point is that's the defensive coordinator. It's not the
Right.
offensive coordinator. That kid plays quarterback. Why do you have his phone number? You have
Right.
no reason as a defensive coordinator of a team that's not going to draft him. You have no reason to have that kid's phone number.
Like I
Zero.
said, 5 minutes alone, 5 minutes in the bathroom. You can't run in the bathroom.
What
Always, hey,
ultimately?
Kyrie, I
Go ahead.
always said back in the day when Shaq and Kobe was having odds with each other, Phil Jackson should have said, "Y'all got 10 minutes in the bathroom, and then y'all best friends after."
What ultimately should they do with this situation? Because I hear all it was offered was an apology, and Shador and Dion and they ain't gonna trip. They be like, okay, yeah, what's up, brother? Ain't no problem. Go on
Yeah,
with
they
that.
gonna let it go. They gonna
But
sweep it up
you
under the
get
rug.
fined for not having your socks pulled up all the
Man,
way. You know what
hey,
I'm saying?
hey,
So,
that
what
that
kind of fine
coordinator,
are Atlanta Falcons subjected to get
I'm
behind
sorry,
this
the
bullshit?
coordinator and the organization need to be fined a little money.
Yeah, I think so.
But
Shit.
you know what they say? Oh, kids will be kids. They play pranks on each other.
Hey, but
That's
the crazy part is they saying, it was just a childish prank. He's a kid. He the same age as Shador.
Well,
So
yeah, but a
so
couple
if
years younger.
Shador had pulled that shit, we're in an uproar.
Bro, you put your pop's job in jeopardy, dog. That's just crazy, man. Does this dude play for Ole Miss or he just goes to school there?
He
I
just
don't.
go
I
to
think he
school.
just goes to
He
school.
just go to school. If you saw him, he ain't no athlete.
Okay. Well, I heard he wasn't the one that actually did the phone call, but he was one who got the number. So what happened to the other 3 or 4 people, 2 people that was holding the damn cameras, and a dude who was actually making the phone call? Why they
Nothing.
damn name ain't been brought up?
Nothing's happening to any of them besides this. Oh, we're gonna apologize.
Yeah,
Yeah, y'all no.
yeah. All right, shit. Let's move on to some NBA, man. What we got? Well, let's talk about last night. What happened last
Hey,
night?
we could talk about the NBA, and I'm gonna start it with this, Kai. Don't mean to cut you off. The
Go ahead.
Miami Heat, the Miami Heat, that organization, they owe the state of Florida an apology.
Oh my God.
Everybody on that team should be fined. All the fans should get all their money back. for showing up for every fucking game this year,
No.
and they should be
No,
suspended
look,
for next year for
I
20
didn't
games.
even watch the game, dog, but I saw something that said it was like 78-30 or something like
Yes.
They
that.
had 31 like at halftime.
Listen, they were Cleveland was up by 40 at halftime. They were up by 40 in mid second quarter. I had never seen anything like that. I've never seen anybody down that much that early in any playoff game I've ever watched. I could be off, I could be wrong, but I know I have never seen anybody down by 40 as fast as they were down by 40.
Hey,
And
dog.
people stayed. That was the crazy part. People were still at the game. Nobody was booing. They must have put something in their drinks. Because
Why even play? Why they even play up in the play-in if you was gonna perform like that, dog?
Perform like that. I mean, they lost by 53 points to end the season.
They scammed their fans. They scammed the shit out of their fans. They got some extra money. They overcharged for them damn playoff tickets and scammed the shit out of their fans. They should all be suspended for next year. That whole team should be. Hell, I could have won and coached Morningside High School's basketball team. Could have did a better shot than that.
Oh
And
my
they don't even have a fucking program.
Why? What's going on? Like, and this just gives more credence to why people talk about how the league is just so watered down,
It's horrible.
and
It's horrible.
and the play is just not good. Although that Houston and that Warriors made up for it because that was a hell of a game, dog.
Yeah.
That was a hell of a, that was a hell of a game. They was both balling out, and I thought when Draymond Green took that, I thought he was getting kicked out the game, but they didn't kick him out, huh? So they
they gave him a timeout. They
Slide.
for about an hour.
Yeah, I thought he was done for the day. I was like, because that was his second. I thought it was his second technical foul, but it must have been classified as that or something.
Yeah.
They gave him a timeout and told him to go sit down.
Oh man, yeah, that's a cold thing right there. But that was a good game too, man.
Houston's in trouble though.
Man,
again, I said Houston's because of the way they play defense, it wears them out. And they realistically, outside of what's his name, Van Vliet, they don't have other outside shooters. So they got the guy, the twin, who balled in the second half, but everything he did was going to the hole, which is fine because nobody can really stop him. And then what's the other guy's name? The funny looking guys, what Sendu or whatever his name is, the white kid in the post,
right?
He looks awkward. He looks like a fucking stork playing back. I mean, he just looks all awkward. But they don't have a true outside game. And again, you can't play hard nosed defense for 48 minutes. It's gonna wear you out at the end of the day.
Well, we know that with the Lakers because what I'm trying to figure out why Reddy ain't playing Connect. Why you can't give him some because Lakers is losing these games because these fools is playing 45, 48 minutes.
His playoff roster is not. This shit ain't working.
What's wrong with it? And then Jackson Hayes is only playing an average of like 7 minutes a game or some shit. Why is that? Is that?
I can't answer that one, bro. We gonna have to have JJ on the show.
Yeah, we're gonna have to
because this. How do you not play guys that got you there?
Yeah, like come on, dog. They went on a stretch before the season ended, winning like 8 of the last 10 games, and a stretch before that where they had won like 11 or 12 straight. And this was even without AD. So I'm like, man, come on. Why these guys? Why is Connect not getting no time? Why is Jackson Hayes only playing like averaging like 7 minutes of the game? I'm not understanding this. Like because they got nobody to protect the rim. You know, there's no rim protectors at all when he's not in there.
Right.
Underside, and that dude, what's that dude named Reed? Or what's his name? Is that his name? He is killing that. No, I'm talking about for
from Minnesota.
Yeah, his name Reed, I think it is. That dude is shooting 52% behind the 3-point line.
I mean, when somebody on fire like that, what can you do? You know,
shit. How about defend him? How about that? How about not letting him have wide open shots every time? Like
just fresh legs out there so they
He
can
played in the
play.
goddamn 3-point contest. Shit.
Yeah. Get some fresh legs out there so they can play some defense.
Because, man,
Yeah,
it's
unfortunately, JJ Redick is taking his lumps as a rookie coach, and it's showing on the damn court. But we LeBron James don't have that kind of time left in his body for you to be taking your
that's
fucking
what I'm
lumps on.
saying. We can't, man, you trying we got to put him through another 82 games again, bro, and to try to get there.
And
Come on,
Luka ain't
man.
no spring chicken either. I mean, he's under 30, but that dude's body is about 34, 35. So
Yeah, because he's been a pro. He's been a pro since he was 14 years old.
Yeah.
right. So yeah, his body done been through the ringer as well.
But he plays so smooth and under control though. I don't see him. He
Oh,
don't
he
look
Missing
like
a lot of shots though. He missing a lot. He missing a lot of shots within the 12-foot range.
I really don't see him lift his feet off the ground. Be honest with you, unless he's running. You know what I'm saying? Jumping, that dude don't jump. Shit,
He don't
that
jump
dude,
at all.
man, that dude. But he's smooth though with it. I was
Yeah.
like, he get a lot done with a little amount. That's for sure.
I just wish him and LeBron would shut up and stop always bitching at every call and just play. Because
No, Luka in particular, he cry
Yeah.
about every time he go to and he don't get a foul call. He on the refs. I'm like, man, just shut your ass up and get back on defense, bro.
Right.
I think I saw him complaining that when he fell on the ground, the lines on the free throw line had a little mark in it, and he wanted them to come color that. Hey, this shit ain't right. But it's arguing, bitching over every fucking thing.
Man, ain't no question, man. So, and last little thing we're gonna talk about is Shannon Sharp, man. My boy Shannon, man. I guess he chose to leave ESPN before they fired him, huh? You know, they just say get out, get out while you smell smoke. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, get out while you smoke. I don't know if did y'all see that thing with a picture of him as a doll in a doll case? Did y'all see that shit?
Yeah.
Picture him as a what?
And you didn't see it. They got a Shannon doll and a picture of homegirl, the one that's accused him in a doll.
Oh yeah, I saw.
Yeah, I said, hey man, I put it as a thumbnail, man. So hey, I said, man, people do some crazy shit, man. Like I don't know how these people come up with shit like this, but that shit was funny as hell. You know what I'm saying? Shannon, Mr. minus $100 million. You know what I'm saying? Shit. But yeah. So, and I'm just like, what they say, Monique and Cat Williams tried to tell his ass ahead of time.
Try to warn him.
Tried to warn him, dog. All the times you don't heed to the warnings. You know what I mean? And it wind up costing your ass $100 million contract. Shit.
$100
million. That's some money you can't never get back either. Shit.
That just
You know
hurts.
what I'm saying?
That just hurts right there.
Here's what they think about you.
You know what I'm saying? For sure. Shit. You know what I mean? They say, what you say? What you say?
If you're single, get
Rick James, bitch.
Yeah.
if you're single, get
Rick James, bitch.
You know what I'm saying? Shit.
Bitch.
All right, man. Look here, D-Mac. You got a final thought for us? You got a thought for him today before we get up out of here, man?
Yeah, I got a little quick something for y'all.
All right, man. Hey,
All
man,
right.
get y'all pens and paper ready. D-Mac always give his final thoughts for the day, man. You know what
All
I'm
right,
saying?
y'all. So here's the thought. Know what it is to love yourself before you ask that of someone else.
Ooh. Know what it is to love. Say it again.
Know what it is to love yourself before you ask that of someone else.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Indeed. That's it for us, y'all. YouTube today, man, for the first time. You know what I'm saying? So this maybe I figured out how to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what
Now
I
you
mean?
got to write it down so you remember tomorrow.
You know what I'm saying? Shit. I did a practice run with myself last night. I said, okay, that's how you do it. Goddamn it. Yeah, I'm on the ones and twos. Goddamn, this is me. This is Kai. This is the Kai and K show from Where's Where We Speak Up On It. We're on all platforms: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, You name it, you got it. Shit. Rumbo, that's the new one, right? Rumbo.
Rumbo, ah.
Yeah. So that's where we at. And so subscribe to the channel, man. We appreciate it. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Yes.
Peace out, all.
Yeah.
Yeah.